The Syrian Labyrinth. Clearing up the confusion, HTS, Turkish proxies, and the threat to Kurdish Rojava. The conflict in Syria remains a complex terrain, with multiple actors pursuing different, often colliding objectives. Among them, Hay'at Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, and the Turkish-backed Syrian National Army, SNA, represent key forces, whose recent movements have generated a significant impact in northern Syria and a growing threat to the Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria, AANES, known as Rojava. To understand this tangle of groups, it is essential to know the main alliance. The Military Operations Command, Arabic, Idaratul Amaliyat al-Askariya, formerly known as Al-Fatah al-Mubin or Great Conquest, is a coalition of Islamist and nationalist Syrian opposition factions operating jointly in the Syrian civil war. This operations room was formed in June 2019, evolving from the Damascus Conquest Operations Room that was established in May of the same year during the Syrian Army's Idlib Dawn campaign. Al-Fatah al-Mubin, the unknown alliance leading the war in Syria. Hay'at Tahrir al-Sham, led by the Al-Fatah al-Mubin coalition, is a jihadist group with strict application of Sharia law. Its primary goals have been to fight the regime of Bashar al-Assad and consolidate control over Idlib, the last rebel stronghold in northwestern Syria. However, since the fall of Aleppo, HTS has adopted a more expansive stance. In recent days, its forces have conquered large areas of northern Syria, amassing more territory than they controlled in 2014. This change marks a strategic shift. HTS is no longer limited to defending positions, but is redrawing the map of the conflict. Although HTS operates in territory of Turkish interest, its strategic independence has been evident at key moments. During the Turkish offensive in Afrin in 2018, HTS did not participate, prioritizing clashes with rival factions, which led to tensions with Ankara. This shows that HTS's objectives do not always coincide with those of Turkey. While HTS is focused on expanding its territorial and religious influence, Ankara appears to have a different agenda, aimed at dismantling Kurdish autonomy and ensuring stability in its areas of influence. The Fajr al-Hurriya Operations Center is a conglomeration of Turkish-backed militias specifically designed to weaken and dismantle the AANES. These militias, often formed by former ISIS fighters such as Ahrar al-Sharqiya, have as their main goal the erasure of Kurdish identity and the elimination of any form of autonomy in the border region with Turkey. While HTS is redefining its role in the Syrian conflict, Turkish militias such as Fajr al-Hurriya are focused on destroying the political-social structure of the AANES, popularly known as Rojava. This autonomous territory, which has stood out for its model of self-governance and inclusive approach, is facing a multi-pronged attack, including from Iraqi Shiite militias. On the one hand, the expansion of HTS threatens to upset the balance of power in northern Syria, opening new fronts. On the other hand, Turkish intermediaries act as tools of Ankara to undermine Kurdish stability. This dual challenge puts Rojava in a critical position, with its survival depending on its ability to resist both jihadists and forces aligned with Turkey. On December 1st, in the Aleppo offensive, the Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, reached an agreement with Hay'at Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, to withdraw from the areas near Aleppo without confrontation. For now, the Kurds are only facing pro-Turkish and pro-government forces. The advance of HTS and the maneuvers of Turkey underline the dynamism of the Syrian conflict, where alliances are fluid and objectives are multiple. The threat to Rojava does not come from a single front, but from a network of actors with diverse interests. In this context, clearing up the confusion about the goals of HTS and Turkish militias is essential to understand the impact of their actions in the region and the future of Syria. The situation in northern Syria is becoming more complicated, with multiple factions in conflict threatening the stability of Rojava and its Kurdish autonomy. I hope you liked it. Give it a like and share.